Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will see how to use group by clause in Power Query Editor. A group by statement or the option is used to arrange identical data into groups with help of some functions. The functions can either be sum, min, median, max, etc. Basically, you can apply a group by to categorical data and identify uh, identify the results for numerical data. For example, if you want to find what are the total expenditure over the year for different months, so what kind of table you will be expecting? You will be expecting the results to be January as $1,000 and February $500 and so on. So you can do the group by on month level and identify what are the expenditure done at that specific month. You can further figure it out, the group further drill it down to date specific level or week specific level or fortnight level as well. So this is a what group by is used for. In today's example, we will look at the data set of customers. Here you have totally 6 columns. In that 6 columns, the name, gender, and occupation are categorical data, and yearly income, number of children at home, and number of cars owned are numerical data. So basically, you can perform calculations on these 3 columns, and you can do group by on these 3 specific levels you can do. So in Power Query Editor, the group by option is present under the Home tab under the option called Group by. So if you want to apply group by immediately and retrieve results, let's see the first option. Here, for example, if your manager comes and asks, let's find out what is the yearly income that is provided by our company for each of the gender. So you click on gender and click on group by option. So here an option pops up for group by. So you select on the basic. So you want to do group by on gender. The new column that you are going to produce is nothing but the total income paid by the company for each of the gender. So you name it as total income, and the operation that you want to do on yearly income column is sum. But you also have the option to do as average, median, min, max, count rows, count distant rows, and all rows. But let's first see the option of sum and which column you want to do this sum. So we have to uh, do the sum on yearly income. So let's select yearly income and click on OK. So you immediately get a results like what it's saying. The result what it's showing is for male the total income paid is this much amount, and for female the total income is paid this much amount. So this is how quickly you can do group by option in Power Query Editor. So let's understand more what are the options provided in this group by. So if you click back on the icon over here, like we have done the sum operation. What will happen if you do a sum on um, a categorical variable instead of a numerical variable? So if I click sum of name, so I know name is a string. You can't do sum operation on that. But what happens if I do like that? So immediately Power Query Editor throws an error. If you click on that error, you can notice Power Query is saying we cannot apply operator to types text. So basically, you can only specify numerical values in the group by option while performing an operation. So let's change to yearly income. So in the basic option, you can do group by only for one level, and you can calculate operations for only one specific operation. You can do calculation on one specific operation as well. But if you click on advanced tab, you can do grouping across multiple levels, and you can do operations for multiple you can also perform multiple operations as well on different numerical columns. For example, if I go back to previous step, if someone comes and asks, what can you bring a report for all the occupations for different genders, whose how much the yearly income is, and how many cars they own, what are the how many children they have as well. So to do all these things in one shot, click on group by option again. You click on advanced. So the first level of grouping if I close this, so the first option that require is we need to perform grouping on occupation. So click on occupation, click on group by, click on advanced and add grouping. You can click gender over here, and if you wrongly selected the options, you can either move up or down. That as well you can do over here. And the new column that I want is total income, and the operation I want to do is sum. On the column of yearly income, I want to do one more aggregation, that is max of income. So I select the option of max and yearly income, and I want to do min of income. So I can find minimum of the salary paid in one occupation for one gender across everywhere. So here I will do with yearly income and add aggregation. I want to find total cars owned across each occupation with different gender. So I select sum again on the option of number of cars owned. I want to find the median of cars owned. So I set the option of median and number of cars owned. I want to find average of children at home. So I name it as average children at home. I select the operation of average and click here at number children at home, and I want to perform one more operation of total rows. I select count rows, uh, total, as instead of total rows I will add as total employees, count rows. So you can notice here when I click when I click on count rows, you no need to specify a column because it will perform across the row level. it will find it doesn't do an operation on column specific level. It will do the operation on row specific level. So you don't need to specify a column. Now I want to move this total employees to the top. So I use the option like move up. So I move it to the top. Yes. One more level up. Yes. And what other options? Count distant rows. I want this option as well. Distant employees. You can notice here as well, I know I can't select a specific column because this is a row specific operation. And the final aggregation present is all rows. I will name it as all employees. No need to specify a column name. So basically, the result that we are going to get is a report stating like what are the occupations present across our company with different genders and their income, total income, max income, min of income, and total cars owned, etc., etc. So if you see, this is what Power Query has produced all the calculations in one set. That is the that is how the group by option is very useful here. For example, the result here shows uh, in the occupation of professional for male, there are totally 2,727 employees, and for female, there are 2,793. And the total income for them is this number, and the max of income shows the max of income in this particular category. So that is 1,70,000, and the min of income, which is 30,000, the total cars owned across that specific category, and the median cars and the average children at home, which is basically nothing but like a average of uh, number of people at home for that specific department, and distant employees, which is again coming as 2727, which is matching with uh, the total employees. So the all employees table, it just gives the table option, which is not required for now. So that is how the group by option uh, will work in Power Query Editor. Basically, you have two options. One is like a simple basic operation which you can do on one specific group by and one specific operation. If you want to do on multiple columns, multiple groupings, you click on advanced and add all the levels of grouping, and also here you can perform multiple operations as well. You can also notice the minimum income across all the professions is from a clerical, manual, and skilled manual, whereas the maximum income is from management and professional occupations. The total cars owned as well, uh, is maximum in professional for male employees. Sorry, so professional and female employees. So the median of cars owned is almost same for management and professional for all the genders. So this is how you can use the group by option to find a meaningful values, and you can use it very quickly in Power Query Editor as well. So when you see the last group by option we used over here, if you see, all rows. So the all rows, we have renamed it as all employees. And if you see here, the all employees has not produced any value. So what it produces here is, if you notice from the previous step, if I go, if you see here, we have total of 18,484 records, and in this step we have 10 records. So basically the 18,484 records is summarized into 10 records based on occupation and gender. So if I come here and click on the option of expand and select any of these columns. For example, if I select name and click OK, what happens here? You still have 18,484 records, but you can see a lot of repetitions in the aggregations that we have calculated. A lot of repetitions have happened. What it just happened, like if you come here for the previous step, you see here for the professional and for the occupation professional and the gender M, you see total of 2,727 records. So those 2,727 records over here will have the same values that is returned in this first row. It will repeat for all the 2,727 employees. You can identify each one of them from this name. So this may not be useful for everyone, but it will be useful for someone who is doing an analysis after doing group by, if they want to identify to which group that specific person belongs. So after doing all this group by, after doing all the calculation, if you want to find uh, which group you belong, which profession, which occupation, followed by which gender. So if you want to identify that macro specific level, there is an option in Power Query Editor. You can use the in your group by clause in the advanced tab. You use the option of all rows and later select to identify that individual record. In our case, we can use uh, we can use the name column and identify to which exact group they belong. So, uh, for example, if I want to show in specific, if I go here in occupation, I can click load more. You can see everything. So if I click on professional and then further, if I filter on gender of male, from previous result, we know for professional male, there are total of 2,727 records. So after filtering, if I click here and see what is the total number of rows, it is 2,727 records. So for all these 2,727 records, so all the statistics, it keeps on getting repeated. So you can identify that specific record, what is the calculation and which group they belong to. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.